Hi, I'm Chris, and welcome to my channel, Synergistic Singing. Why, if there's so much information out there when it comes to singing, why do people still really struggle with learning how to sing? So if you get the right information, and you're really paying attention to the right information about singing, and you're really trying, why do you still fail? Well, the reason why is because before you change anything about your singing, you have to know your current vocal habits. Let me give you an example. Let's say someone tends to let go of all of their air right away when they first start a phrase. So they breathe in, and then they go, ah, and then they're totally out of air. So the worst thing you could tell that person is let go, relax, because the more they relax, the more quickly they're going to release all of their air. And that's going to make their singing harder and harder and harder. So even though they're trying to relax, they're trying to let go, it's actually just making everything much harder. Now we'll talk about someone else who maybe their vocal habit is to breathe in, and then they tighten everything, and they tighten their throat, and they really tighten their chest so no air escapes. Okay, so the worst thing in the world you could tell them is hold back your air, because not only are they holding back their air, but everything is really stiff and stuck. What this means is that if you are trying to learn how to sing, but you have no idea where you're coming from, and you have no idea what your vocal habits are, then you're not going to know the difference between what you were doing and what's actually working now. Most likely, sometimes it does work out that way, which is great. If you happen to, lose all of your air and someone tells you to hold it back and that helps, awesome. But A, you probably won't know. And then B, you don't really have a sense of what you're doing to begin with. You can't really feel what you're doing with your air when you sing. Therefore, even if you think you're doing something, you may or may not actually be doing that thing that you think that you're doing. So even though you think you're holding back your air, you might not notice it because you haven't spent any time actually building your sensory awareness of what you do with your air. So are you aware of how you breathe throughout the day? I mean, most people aren't. Most of the time, it's a completely unconscious process, and there's absolutely no awareness. So if you're stressed out, you might not get very much exercise oxygen because you're just holding all the time because you're stressed, for instance. So you have to get to know your habits first, and then you can decide how to change them, right? If you don't know where you are, how can you decide how you're going to get to your goal or where you want to go? And this is such common sense, but unfortunately, I see very little out there when it comes to singing that actually describes the process of getting to know your current vocal habits. Everything is about do this or think that or think the other. And that doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't believe that the world really needs more information when it comes to singing, but I do think that more people need a way to get to know their own vocal habits. They need some kind of map, some kind of way to begin to build that sensory awareness so that you can choose for yourself what works best for you based on what you begin to notice about yourself. So that's why I created my mini breathing for singing course. And that's why I think that before you work with any vocal techniques, you should work with this course so that at least you have a sense of, oh, okay, I tend to hold everything very tightly when I sing. Or, oh, okay, I tend to just completely deflate right away when I first start singing. And if you can at least get just a little bit of a sense of that, then all of your decisions going forward are going to be much more insightful and informed. So if you'd like to sign up for my breathing course, it's free, it's totally free. You can go to the description box below. I will put a link, and it's pretty short too. It's only I think 5 days. But if you really start to work with those exercises, and they're not exercises telling you how to sing, they're exercises for you to notice how you currently sing, then everything else you do from that point will be hopefully more informed. So if you're bringing the attention that it requires and you're putting in the time, you'll have a much better idea of what you really need to learn to get better as a singer. So I hope that helps, and for more updates, make sure to subscribe. And for voice lessons, either online or in my Austin, Texas studio, go to synergisticsinging.com/schedule a lesson. Thanks for watching.